Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 unforgettable moments caught live on TV. Live television is totally unedited and uncensored, and as a result, some crazy and unexpected things can happen. There have been some unforgettable moments on television that made the world stop and tune in. So before we get into it, leave a like and subscribe, and comment I subscribed and I'll try to reply. Coming in at number 10, we have OJ's car chase. We all know the confusing and scandalous story behind OJ Simpson. He was accused of taking the life of his ex-wife and her new boyfriend. But back before the infamous not guilty court verdict, which is another unforgettable moment caught on TV itself, he wasn't sure he was going to be a free man. He went off the handlebars one day and got into a Bronco pickup truck before racing off. Police thought he was running away, so they chased him, causing a massive, long, televised car chase. Domino's reported record sales because people ordered pizza as they didn't want to leave their TV. It was like a real-life movie playing out before our eyes. Every news station picked up the story, even ESPN reported it live. He was later caught and said he wasn't trying to flee, but he was found with some items which may suggest he was lying. He had thousands of dollars in cash, a pistol, a passport, and a fake goatee and mustache. This is one television event that shook the world, and everyone who watched it remembers it vividly, especially those who were also following the tense and lengthy court case. Next up is I'ma Let You Finish. We all remember it. Taylor Swift was getting an award.
I'll let you finish!
Hey, don't interrupt, Kanye. Anyway, that's what Kanye did to Taylor Swift. She had just won a VMA for the Best Female Video. But Kanye had other ideas. He jumped up on stage, grabbed the microphone, and told Taylor he would let her finish, but he thought Beyoncé's video was way better. He was booed at the live event, and by many who watched this on TV. It's safe to say everyone who was watching was shocked, and remembers the night this happened. It led to a lot of backlash for Kanye, with even Barack Obama calling him a jackass. It has since gone down as one of the most surprising and memorable things to happen live on television. Kanye sure did make a performance that night, just not a musical one. Next up we have Olympian Kiss. The Olympics is one of the most memorable and famous events broadcast on live TV. There's many different sports being broadcast around the clock. But at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the female gymnasts event raised a few eyebrows. This is because one Russian gymnast named Ksenia Ryzova kissed a fellow Russian gymnast, Tatiana Ferova. Some people were shocked by this, and the Olympics actually received many complaints, while others were fine and assumed it was a European custom. But it was actually to promote global equality, especially in Russia, who have a bad reputation for this. It became a media circus, and the press was all over the story. Whatever your opinions are on the kiss, it went down as one of the most famous Olympic moments of that year, and it sure is an unforgettable moment caught on live TV. Next up is Madonna's VMA controversy. Madonna is not an artist to shy away from controversy, but her 2003 VMA performance was on another level. Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera emerged in bridal gowns, singing Madonna's classic tune to everyone's excitement. Then all of a sudden, Madonna herself climbed out of a giant cake, and then all of the women began making out. This shocked millions of people watching at home, not to mention the star-studded crowd at the VMAs who had very mixed responses. Just look at Justin Timberlake as he watches his ex-girlfriend Lindsay Lohan make out with other singers. This later caused a lot of tension in the media and caused so many people to freak out. And from the looks of the audience's reactions, which were also filmed alongside the performance, people were divided by this. Some were laughing and taking it as a joke, while others did not look happy and sometimes downright upset. It has since gone down as one of the most famous moments in pop culture and VMA history. Next up is camera fall. Reporting news live can be stressful for the anchors. There is no allowance for mistakes, and the slightest mistake could ruin your career. And this is also the case for live weather reports. The whole town tunes in to see what tomorrow will bring weather-wise. But in one report coming from Denver, Colorado, things didn't go as planned. The camera fell down during the weather, and then the weather woman went crazy. She began dancing and singing as the camera was showing her feet. She then crawled onto the floor and continued giving the forecast. Afterwards, she crawled away while her whole news team was laughing. Let's be honest, how could they not? This woman's clip went viral, and she is now known as the Dancing Weather Woman. This meant that even people outside of Denver, Colorado could see the insane live TV moment, meaning this is one unforgettable TV occurrence. Was this great improvisation or an over-energetic weather woman? One thing's for sure, it was entertaining, and she's a pretty good dancer too.
Park. Look at this beautiful shot this afternoon. You can, wow! Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool. You have a good one.
Next up is Man on the Moon. It's one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Those were the words that stunned the world, and is associated with one of mankind's greatest achievements, landing on the moon. In 1969, 600 million people watched as Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. It was one of the biggest broadcasts ever, with the second highest viewing figures, falling short of 150 million people compared to the Prince of Wales and Princess Diana's wedding. But it was still a massive event that united the world and made new leaps in space exploration. If you're old enough to have watched it, you may remember the excitement of the day. Some people didn't believe it was real, especially older people, as going into space was such a bizarre concept for them. People's jaws dropped as the US flag was planted on the moon and the famous words were spoken. The Apollo 11 mission has gone down in history as one of the most amazing live television broadcasts ever. Next up, we have Locked Out. We all make mistakes at work, but they're not always as big a blunder as this news anchor's mistake and misfortune. He got out of his car to clean the frost from his windows when suddenly his car door locked. He was then stuck outside his car in the snow, forced to do his news report from outside his car. He then called for help and the news station sent someone out to open the door. This blunder didn't get him into any trouble, and his co-hosts were laughing hysterically as he was stuck outside in the cold. It's a mistake we could all make, but thankfully most of us aren't news reporters. And luckily for the man, he wasn't too far from the studio. This news report is not only memorable for those watching live, but the internet too, as a clip was posted online. And I'm sure this is the most memorable broadcast this guy ever did. He seems quite upbeat about it though, so at least he was a good sport.
So bad, help. And somehow the door locked. I'm in Laurel by the Target store off 202. Door open. Here comes Patrick, hang on, he's getting it. Wait. Oh! Wow!
Next up is Balloon Boy. This is one news story that shook the world. In 2009, a story from Colorado was reported live. A boy was stuck in a gas balloon after his parents let it go. The media began to chase the balloon in their helicopters and made it into a massive event. After a 50-mile flight that lasted 1 hour, the balloon landed in Denver International Airport. Police and airport officials rushed to the balloon, but to their surprise, the boy wasn't in the balloon. They sent hordes of police to find the missing boy, who they feared had fallen out. They searched everywhere, costing a lot of money and resources. But eventually the couple admitted it was all a hoax. They were sent to jail for 20 days and were made to pay $36,000 in fines. Although it likely cost a lot more to pull off this stunt. It has since gone down as an unforgettable TV moment, and later adapted into a musical comedy named Balloon Boy the Musical by Billy Reese. Next up is the best weatherman in the world. We all can't pronounce some words, especially those in other languages. They can be tough, but one language which is very hard to pronounce is Welsh. This is because they have far less letters, meaning odd pairs of letters are often used in words, and the words can sometimes be very long. So, what happens when you have to say the world's largest place name on a weather broadcast? Well, if you're as good as Channel 4 weatherman Liam Dutton, nothing. He said a 58-letter place name and nailed it first time. He looks very pleased with his accomplishment, and rightly so. He totally pulled it off, which is an amazing talent. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the town name, but I will play you this clip so you can be stunned too.
Just up the road from Llanfair to Pwllgwyngyll to go get a Quindrobwll, Llantysilio go. The temperature got to 21 Celsius.
And coming up next, we have Hungry News Anchor. This is one news mishap where I wouldn't be surprised if the guy involved got fired. One news reporter was out working at 4 AM. When it got to 7 AM, he was on, but he hadn't eaten breakfast yet. He was caught on camera in his car in the McDonald's drive-thru line. But instead of ignoring the food and doing the news report, he asked viewers to wait a minute as he was hungry. He tried to order some food, but he was told he had to order breakfast instead. This made for one very lengthy shot of him ordering food and totally ignoring the news. He told everyone not to tell his boss that he did this. But the clip went viral, so I wouldn't be surprised if he found out anyway. We all get hungry at work, but this guy really left his co-hosts and probably the viewers speechless.
Oh, Candace, we live? Whoops. Hey, I've been in the car since 4 o'clock. I'm starving. I'm just getting something real quick. Hey, it's too early to get a fish sandwich?
Okay, well.
Can I help you? Yeah, can I get a fish sandwich?
We're on breakfast right now.
Breakfast? All right, give me a second time.
Check out the poll in the top right corner and you can vote for the most unforgettable moment caught on live TV. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.